Hello everyone, my name is Dan Roberts and this is Real Talk. Today we've got a very special guest. His name is MichaelWoids. Now the difference between this particular episode compared to the other ones is that Michael doesn't fundraise anymore. Michael doesn't work in the fundraising industry anymore. But he's told me on more than one occasion that working in the fundraising industry changed his life. It gave him skills that's been able to better himself. So, Michael, thank you. Welcome to the show, brother. How are you getting on?
Bidet, little brother? Big brother?
Big brother, even.
Well,
yeah.
Depends on the day.
This is true. So, when what were the period that you were fundraising in? How long did you do it for?
I started fundraising, was it 7 years ago now? When I first came to England?
About that,
Yeah, it was about 7 years. Yeah, late 2018. Late 2018, I first came over here. I did it for about a year and a half, well, right up until the first lockdown, basically. But yeah, that's where we met. I worked for about a year and a half. But when I first came over here, it was terrifying.
I can imagine that. Yeah. I mean, it's an environment you're not used to.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, especially being from Belfast. I mean, I'd never spent any significant amount of time over here in England or anything like that.
Okay.
But so yeah, I showed up, got the interview, showed up on. They asked me, can I be in Belfast in London on the Wednesday? And I was just like, London? What's going on here? I'm in Belfast. What's going on? But yeah, saying yes to that question, definitely one of the best decisions I ever made. Here I am, yeah, nearly 7 years later, and I still haven't been able to escape you, but I'm not really complaining about that.
Well, yeah, this is true. For those who don't know, Michael rents a floor off me at my house. He turned up 5 years ago and never left. But that's another story. We'll get onto that in a bit. So, what was your first day like when you actually turned up and you went to work? Where was you working again?
I was working in Norton Keynes, Norton Keynes in Kent. But as I say, I wouldn't even be able to find that on a map. So, like, my first day, they sent me out in the middle of nowhere in Kent at night to meet my two managers.
Yeah.
I was like, you can imagine what was going through my head. I had no clue where I was, dark, everything, but I'm so glad I went. And as I say, I may or may not have told you before, but I was this close to quitting on my first day.
Really? What?
Yeah, it was just pure fear and anxiety, but it was all circumstantial, the whole situation. I was far from home, no clue where I was, didn't know anybody, a completely new trade. I was a plumber for like 7 or 8 years beforehand, and this was a completely new environment.
Yeah.
So my head was going a million miles an hour, but I'm so glad that I stuck it out. I really am.
You're not a very good plumber.
I wasn't a very good plumber. Well,
no, you wasn't. I'm not asking a question. I'm making a statement.
Oh, thanks.
Michael lives at my gaff, and we've had a few issues like you do in your own house. So the toilet, the boiler, and then I ask him, I said, what needs to be done? And he says, you need to call a plumber because he just doesn't have a clue what he's doing. But it was a while ago, and you've moved on to a different line of work now, haven't you? It's what is it you're doing now for work? Is it?
Right now I'm working behind the bar. Nothing glamorous, but I enjoy it. But eventually I want to move up, advance in my ranking, maybe eventually a few years down the line even run my own place, maybe just something I can call my own maybe, but that would be a nice thought for the future.
It's a good job I've quit drinking, or that'd be really bad. If my best mate had a bar.
Yeah, no, I've seen that future.
Yeah, fair. So when you first came to my place, for those that don't know, me, Kristen Nooney, that you've already seen, we went out for my birthday. We all came back to Blackpool, and then lockdown happened, and like Michael kind of got stranded with me.
Yeah, we were halfway to Bristol.
We were, until I got the phone call.
Yeah, the boss rings you up. Yeah, the boss rings you up. Go back to Blackpool. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was a scary time for everybody. But to be honest with you, mate, if you were, I think you've been there made it a little bit easier for me.
Yeah, it was the same with you, bro. I genuinely do not think mentally I would have got through lockdown if you and I didn't have each other's backs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was an experience, but then after that, we started working together. Again.
Yeah, you were the first staff member who changed the world.
Yeah.
Yes, you were. Yeah. Good times, man.
It was weird. It was weird falling back into it. If you know what I mean, because I know it sounds like a cliche, but when did CT dub start again?
Roughly, I think 3 years in now.
3 years in
3
now.
years
3
now.
years in, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so at that point, I had been out of the game for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So to come out of it and then go back into it again, it was like learning how to walk again, basically.
Yeah.
But I remembered how much I did genuinely enjoy it.
It helps you with confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and your mindset, and it's just everything that's put in place, and it's there for a reason. Everything that they teach us, it's not just applicable in work, but it's also it's very transferable into life as well, if that makes sense. So, have you got any? I've asked people this before, and I'm still waiting for the best one. But have you got any really funny stories from like fundraising in general? Something that's happened that's made you laugh, or
Okay, I'm trying to search the PG box.
okay, yeah. Let's keep it PG, please.
Oh yeah, London. Yeah, funny enough, actually. Where was it? King's Cross, St Pancras. We were working for I think we were doing AR UK, Alzheimer's Research UK. Were you there that week? Were you?
I don't know. I've been everywhere, mate.
Yeah,
I've literally been everywhere.
I think you were that week. Basically, you know what it's like. You know, people come up to us all the time asking for directions and everything.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they just see a uniform.
Yeah,
and that's all they see.
Yeah. Fellow walks up to me and he was a very posh guy as well. He says, "Excuse me, sir. Do you know if there's a bank anywhere near here?" Like that,
Right,
exactly.
okay.
I says, "Sorry, sir. I'm not a local. I'm not a member of staff. There's information desk over there. They may be able to help you." You know, oh my god. Without blinking or hesitating, he looks at me and says, "Oh, your accent. That reminds me. Is there a pub anywhere near here?"
Oh, because the Irish. Jesus Christ!
I could not breathe. I folded like a red hot Mars bar. I was laughing so hard.
Jesus. Well, it's like with this line of work. I mean, this is something I want to ask a lot of people. I mean, a large percentage of the job is rejection. And obviously we might have things going on in our personal lives as well, which can impact our day. And that's a massive skill in yourself to be able to leave things at home. But what do you do, like the stress side of things? Because obviously when you was doing this, what did you do to manage stress in your personal life now? What do you do to be able to manage your stress levels?
It's a wee bit... It's going to sound like a wee bit cliche, but I handle it differently now because I am a completely different person than I was five or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know you are.
You know, I mean, like, not going into any detail or anything, but, you know, obviously discovered a lot of things about myself and went through a lot, everything. But I would say the biggest focus is your biggest tool, apart from your social skills, is your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they always tell you keep a positive mental attitude in this game, and yeah, that is right, absolutely correct. But you have to maintain it. You have to maintain your own mental health. And again, without going into details, you know, I've had my own struggles.
Yeah, you have, mate. Yeah.
And I wish I'd done it years ago. I really wish I'd done it years ago. But it's been the past year and a half, 2 years that I've started working on myself mentally. You know, I started going to therapy, you know, because I suffered from depression for years and everything. And I recently found out that I'm high functioning autistic.
Yeah?
Yeah. Shocker.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's like, first of all, I'd like to say well done. Because for a lot of years, like counselling or therapy and things like that, people are just like a bit shy about it. They don't really want to talk about it that much. But like, if anybody ever tells me they're in therapy, I always respond with the same thing, which is good for you.
Yeah.
You know, because it's going to help. It's not to do with like it could be bottling things up. It could be something from the past. It could be things that trigger you. It could be undiagnosed neurodivergency. We don't know. But the truth is, going and learning about yourself is important because you're the one you're going to be spending most of the time with.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and your mind can be your own worst enemy. Like,
it can.
But you just have to remember that you're stronger than your own mind.
But your mind can also be your biggest strength.
Exactly.
This is the thing. I mean,
exactly.
It's a lot of neurotypical people. They're the most creative, the most like passionate about things. You know, so it's like with your therapy currently, I mean, you did tell me that you are writing down your thoughts now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've noticed myself writing down a lot of my thoughts because I'm more self-aware, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
In the way I would notice things and join dots. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, like, I'm 33 years of age, and joining dots, connecting, that taking hints is
Yeah.
not easy for me. I think you've noticed this.
Social cues and
Yeah,
things like
social
that.
cues are extremely difficult
You're
for
getting
me.
better though, man.
Thanks.
It's a lot better.
So you can understand how difficult the fundraising game was for me at the beginning. But I think at the end of the day, this job isn't for everyone, but everyone can benefit from the tools it gives you. Do you know what I mean?
No, this is true.
And I think, again, your mental health will be your biggest tool. As long as you maintain it, it's always going to be a fight and a struggle, but just keep fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well said, man.
Thank you.
What about your personal life? What do you do?
I have a personal life?
You know what I mean? Like, what would you like to do for fun? Like, obviously, we've all got little things that we like to do. Some of them advertise it, some of us don't. But, like, what is it that ticks? What is it that's inside your mind that you love doing that gives you happiness?
I'm your standard nerd. I am your standard nerd.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm your standard nerd, big sci-fi and fantasy fan, big D&D player. Yes, I am just your massive nerd.
You're also a lightsaber collector. I believe you have like 4 now.
Yes, and that number is still too small for me. That number is too small for my liking.
Yeah. The thing is, I watched the 3, like back in the day, and I watched them, and that was enough for me. It's like I did try to power through. Cause remember when I just I'm going to watch and I spent 2 days just watching stuff, and I got about 2/3 of the way through and just thought, nah, it's too much for me. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. Look, I enjoy sci-fi and creative stuff and fantasy as much as the rest. But like, you take it to another level.
I hyperfixate, man. I can't help it.
You do, man. But
I
you know
literally
what?
can't help it.
It is a good trait. I mean, hyperfixation is a superpower. It can be very frustrating for the time, but like, it is a superpower.
See, you know what the worst thing about hyperfixation is?
Go on.
Yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant tool. But I'll be damned if I can actually choose what I'm hyperfixating on.
Yeah. It's random, innit?
It's completely random. Something will grab my interest without any interest and without any indication. I'll just be like, okay, that's my head for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I've done the same though.
Ugh.
I mean, like, I've never been diagnosed with anything, but like, I've got a lot of traits. So, like, for example, you introduced me to the Sidemen. I'm a massive fan of the Sidemen now, and I've seen everything they've done. I wasn't that well at the time, so I just thought I'm going to watch everything they've made, and I did. And then when I got to the end of it, I'm like, what do I do with my life now? But like,
You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, you are, man. I do love the Sidemen. In fact, when we finish this and we go back through to Blackpool, let's do a Sidemen. Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But but I just want to say that, I mean, this is all very new to me, and it might not come across like that, but I just get nervous the same as everybody else, you know, and things make me uncomfortable. But you know what? It's like I love talking, and I think there's nothing more attractive than somebody speaking about something they're passionate about.
I do completely agree, yeah.
The whole point of this podcast is obviously we're going to be interviewing directors, we're going to be interviewing fundraisers. We're going to be, I will speak to anybody, but the whole point of it is I want it to be focused on hard work, perseverance, and overcoming adversity. Because we all face it in our lives, and we can either be stronger because of it or we can let it break us. But the whole point is that we just keep moving forward. So I watched Rocky the other day, sorry. But yeah. But Michael,
really the only advice I can give to you is just play to your strengths. We all have individual strengths whenever it comes to that line of work. You know what I mean? Just play to them, you know, and they will, like, I think my greatest strength was probably my attrition rate, to be honest. Yeah,
your attrition was really, really good, to be fair.
Yeah. I had a very good attrition rate. But just play to your strengths. As I say, it's not the job for everyone, but everyone can benefit and will have a great time with the fundraising world. And at the end of the day, you're doing the right thing, basically.
Yeah, we're doing something good.
Yeah, doing
like
something
you
good.
go home and you know you've not just put money in your pocket, but you've done it for a good reason, and you're helping somebody or a charity or an organisation that needs the help, which is huge.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Michael, it's been A pleasure, brother. And I'm
Always.
definitely going to get you on here again.
Anytime.
And thank you very much.
Anytime.
I love you, man.
Love
You're a
you too.
good lad. Don't do that. I taught you that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for watching Real Talk. My name is Dan Roberts. So with respect, ethics, activism, and love, take care and see you again soon.